Hi everyone. So this short video has been inspired by RJL because he's having issues with penalties on inside the crease. So I'm just going to give you my take on how penalties work. So we're playing a game and we're going through yada yada yada. Things are happening, blah 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 blah. Lots of passing, and then we come to this. Penalty if right wing's penalty is one or more. So I always go left wing, centre, right wing, even though they're all right wings or forwards. So Paul McLean is the right wing in this case. So I put a chip on there to let me know that Paul McLean could possibly have a penalty. So and then I will continue. So left wing, Joe Murphy, number 31. So you look down here and 31 is a pass. And as soon as you get anything other than a shot on goal or an assisted pass, then the play is over. The shot on goal rating or the assist rating, you continue and it's a delayed penalty, nothing else. I've been playing, as you'll notice in the last game, that if it was a pass, I'd continue to pass until everything is finished. But the actual rule is anything but an AST or a shot for that player, play is over, stop the puck, stop the play, and resolve the penalty. So let's have a look. Paul McLean. We turn over the next card and you look at the penalty section. These really should be at the side of each other, but if I had them at the side, then it covered the cards. So you look at the penalty section 30 and you check this number. And as you can see, it's a 3, so there isn't a penalty. If it was 3 or less, there would be a penalty. So let's say that it was Rich Sutter and it was a smaller number, a 3. Yep. So it's Rich Sutter that's got the penalty and it's a 3 and the puck stopped. So what we do now is we've got to work out he's got a penalty. Here it is. It's a 3. And so we turn over and we work out what the penalty is. So the 3 gives us, sorry, I've got that wrong, haven't I? The penalties come from the previous card and the 3 is less than a 5, so it's a major penalty against Rich Sutter. If it was between 6 and 31, it would be a minor penalty, and I don't look at this 33 number because I just don't understand what the misconduct is doing there, because the misconduct's come from a different place. If anybody knows how that should work, then let us all know, because it's just confusing. If you look at Scott Stevens here, his minor is 30, his misconduct is 30. It makes no sense. I'll show you how misconducts work. So we've got a 3, so it's a major penalty. So what you then do is you turn over and you find out what that penalty is, and this is elbowing. So he's got a 5-minute penalty for elbowing, and there could be an injury. If you play injuries, you resolve it. I don't, because I'm doing a nice lined-up replay. And so we know we've got a penalty. So what I then do is work out the time. And what you do to work the time out, you take the next number at the top, 28, and you divide it by 214. And then, dependent on whether you're going 20 minutes to 0 or 0 to 20s, if you're going 20 to 0, you add 14 seconds to the current time. So if the time was 10 minutes, the penalty would be at 10:14. If you're going from 0 to 20, then you take 14 seconds off the time. So if it's 10 minutes, it is 9:48. 46, 9:46. That's your time. Now, if they have a bracket after the penalty, then there could be a misconduct penalty. So just before we go on to the misconduct, let me just explain this box a bit better. The top line is your penalty rating of the player, 7, and the 9 is his fight rating, which comes in to play if there's a fight for a major. The non-bracketed number here on major and minor is your major and minor penalty ratings. As you've seen with this one, we ended up with a major penalty. If it is followed by a number in the brackets, then there could be a misconduct penalty on that play. So as you can see, it's an 8, so there is no misconduct. He just gets a 5-minute penalty. Now, if this had been Scott Stevens, he's less prone to get a penalty than Rich Sutter, but when he gets a major penalty, he's got a number 11 inside the misconduct penalty. So this 8 would tack on a 10-minute misconduct penalty. So he'd have 5 plus 10. Now, this is where I use this misconduct line, because if the misconduct has a bracket, then if he gets a misconduct penalty, he could end up getting a game penalty as well. So you then turn the next card over, and as you can see, it's an 8, and it's inside his misconduct. So Scott Stevens on this play, Sutter would get a 5-minute penalty for elbowing, but with this sequence, Scott Stevens would get a 5 plus 10 for his misconduct plus 20 for his game, and he'd be gone out of the game. So that's how I interpret that, the way to run those penalties. Now, fights. So we get a major penalty and it says fight. So what you then do, if it's got a number on it, then you use that number to see if the opponent has got a fight rate of 9. So, for instance, the right wing would be against a left defender. So, on a fight where it says fight 9, against the right wing, Paul McLean, you look at the left defender and you say his penalty fight is a 6. So it's not him who's fighting. Somebody must fight, but it's not him. If it's not him, or it just says fighting, then you have to determine who the person is that is fighting against McLean. And let's say that that is the lineup that we've got on the screen, on the Edmonton team at the time. So if you don't know who is the fighter, you turn a card over and you look at the assist, and it says assist left wing 6. So you go to the left wing. Now I play left wing, centre, right wing for both teams because it's easier. I know the left wing, left defender on the top line. You may play the left wing here and the left wing here against the other team. So, but Dave Brown in my situation is the left wing. So I go, okay, assist left wing 6, and you look at the penalty rating and it's 16. So this is the guy who is fighting with Paul McLean. Now, let's say it was centre 6. You look at Ken Linesman and he doesn't have a fighting rating, so it cannot be him. So what you then do is, if you cannot determine it from the AST, then you take the highest rated fighter on the ice. Hoodie hasn't got a fight rating. Smith is 6. Graves is 12. We know Linsman is not the fighter. And it comes back to Brown, who is 16. So he is the fighter. Now, because we've got a fight, if McLean is the person who started the fight, he can't get a misconduct penalty because he hasn't got a major penalty misconduct. But if it was Sutter that was fighting Brown, you again got to check to see if he's got a misconduct penalty, and you turn it over and you look at this number and you'd see he doesn't have a misconduct penalty. If Brown had started the fight, then he has a 4. If this number was 4 or less, then he has a misconduct. And again, have I got a number 4 or less? Yep, there he is. And again, because he has a misconduct penalty and he could end up with a major misconduct game penalty, you then have to look at the next number, 32, so he doesn't get the game penalty in that case. But that's how, at least I interpret, how these rules are. I hope that helps you, RJL. If it doesn't, I'll try and make one that's a bit more understandable for you. But let me know. Hopefully it does make sense. That's how I play it, and I could be right, I could be wrong. I don't know. So hopefully that will suffice, and we will talk again, no doubt, and have a good night.